Hi, everyone. So I get a lot of questions on my Telegram group, which is really full and moving and all sorts of different people on there. And it's really great fun. It's got a really good energy, actually. And I'm finding that I'm writing a lot on there and getting more and more questions. So I think it's better to just go through the questions in the form of a video, really, rather than sitting on the forum and then sharing the questions with everyone, because I think these questions are the types of questions and queries that everyone has at the moment, or lots of people have at the moment. So one of the posts, I've already looked into this in a video, but I'm going to go through the questions on this one. So I posted on my Telegram group. This has gone on to my other social media as well, but the most questions and comments come in via Telegram and Instagram as well, to a point. So this is what I posted. For all those asking me about physical intimacy with a Maxine, with a person that's been out to tea with Maxine or Jezebel, please see Chapter 9, Goddess Kali, Liquid Light and Sex Magic in my book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria. Whilst this book does not touch on Maxine per se or Jezebel, and not these genetic modification substances as it was written pre-pathogenia, the work is the same, and to be honest, I'm amazed at how relevant the material is. Bringing in the black flame work alongside the sex magic teaching in the book will specifically align you with the rogue signal, genetic modification, and your ability to evade, override, and or transmute. For some, especially females, this work will need to be undertaken regularly and consistently, including using the meditation provided in the book. The meditation is really good. And I've worked with many women using that meditation. I use that meditation myself and have passed it on to many friends. Please also be aware that the current energetic on our planet is catalyzing, moving individuals into attraction with the like-minded, the kindred spirit, the soulmate, and the twin flame. I'm going to have a look at the questions on Telegram, but I had another question come in via email, so I'm going to answer that one first. Someone asked, as a transgender female, do you do the energy work as a biological female? Would you use that meditation? The answer is yes, because as a transgender female living as female, you will hold energetic female organs. You will have an energetic womb, and so therefore, because you have chosen to move into the expression of female, and potentially you are living within the expression that has always been there for you in this lifetime, and you've come in to experience that, then you will be someone who is receiving and holding, even if your biology, your physical biology may still be male, you will work as a female. So yes, you would do the same meditation as a biological female, absolutely. So that's one question answered. So let's go in. I don't know which ones I'm going to pick. Just move my white wings, my lovely white wings out of the way so I can see the screen. Okay, let's have a look here. Someone is asking here, how do these black crystals help, please? So if you go back to the video that I just did, I talk all about the black crystals and how they assist and the reason why you would use them, specific to Maxine and Jezebel. So just go back and have a look at the last 2 or 3 videos and you'll see the one about the black flame, the shield. That's the one you need to look at. Is the rogue signal only for... let's have a look here, because obviously we are looking here at characters within a fictional novel. So there are, as you know, 2 ladies called Maxine and 2 ladies called Jezebel. So is this rogue signal only for one of the Maxines and one of the Jezebels? The answer's yes. So the rogue signal is with the Maxine and Jezebel that... I'm just wondering how to respond to this. Mirana. That's the other lady, the other character in the book. So there's Jezebel, Maxine, and Mirana. And it's Mirana that the rogue signal is with, not the other Jezebel and the other Maxine and any of the other female characters. They don't hold the rogue signal because they aren't going into the genetics and the cellular structure of the human body within that particular chapter in the novel. So you are looking for Mirana. That is where you will find the rogue signal in this fantasy novel. Okay, so I would never dream of being intimate with a man who has had dinner with Maxine or Jezebel. Okay, and I understand that, and I would agree with you. But obviously, we do have people who are in relationships with people who've been out to dinner with Jezebel. So yeah, which I discussed in the video yesterday. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of questions saying, when my daughter, son, auntie, uncle, mother, sister, brother, father, husband, wife, when they do go out to dinner with Jezebel, what do I do to assist them afterwards? So I'm getting a huge amount of questions about this. So as an energy worker and an author of fictional novels, I can talk to you about the stories within the fiction, and I can talk to you about energy work and how to navigate through using your energy system, your psychic awareness, your grounding, the shields that you can create through visualization. But I'm not medically trained in that way. So what my advice is to navigate through the Jezebel system and keep your distance from Jezebel as much as you can, as I've said in previous videos. And the Jezebel character in the novel is harmful in an energy sense to the other characters in the novel. So once you have a beloved family member or friend that has been out to dinner with Jezebel, yes, there are things that can be done on a detoxification level. So you would look at homeopathy, herbs, superfoods, all sorts of detoxing, all sorts of methods of work. The person would need to be dedicated and committed because it's a spiritual discipline, and they would need to have a communication with the universal mind and the universal energy to be able to move into that discipline that's needed. So when you're saying, how can I help this person? If this person is doing sort of nothing at all other than leave me alone, I want to do what I want to do, I want to see Jezebel as much as I please, then that person hasn't got the discipline and the focus with the universal energy to make this move into detoxification. Yes, you can do energy work for that person, but we are looking here at Jezebel, who is a character in the novel that has attempted to cover all bases, if you will. And no one knows how Jezebel will affect the other inhabitants of the village. Jezebel has many different pathways up her sleeve, many different things that she can do. And so you assisting someone who is repeatedly having dinner with Jezebel or doesn't make any kind of shift after seeing Jezebel into integrity and sovereignty and discipline and commitment, those people can be assisted. Now, when it's Mirana that's involved, Mirana, once you've had dinner with Mirana, then you would be in a situation where detoxification can take place within those levels if you have that commitment. But nothing can change Mirana, but there are some very rare few individuals who may be able to keep Marana in a safe place, if you will. I have discussed this in previous videos. So what I would say is, for somebody who has someone around them who they love, who has been out to dinner with Jezebel, or is talking about seeing Jezebel, then I would say to you, go and see someone who is trained in a more physical healing sense, a trusted medical professional who is aware of holistic ways of thinking, or see a holistic healer, a naturopath, a homeopath, a herbalist, someone who does acupuncture, someone who does massage, anyone in that field, and talk to them. Because seeing someone like that face to face or on a one-to-one session online, you can ask all the questions, because every single individual is different. So you could have 3 different people who've all been out to see Jezebel, and they'll react differently because of the makeup that they had already. So I can't answer questions about what you should do when someone you love is talking about taking Jezebel or has taken Jezebel. If it were me, I would take all the knowledge that I have about nutrition and superfoods and herbs and homeopathy and meditation, and I would assist in the best way that I could. And if that person says, no, I don't want all this stuff, then there isn't anything you can do, because that person has a right to not know and a right to make a choice that is not a choice of evolution and ascension. They have a right to make a different choice, and it's very difficult for us, I know. If you can get some smoothies into this person, check out Anthony William and his he does a heavy metal detox smoothie. I would definitely recommend those. The work in the Black Box program and the Rose Gold Flamers Antidote book, do all the work in there, because that's very thorough and it works on multiple levels. The Black Flame work and the Black Crystal work is for people who are not wanting to have any connection with Jezebel, and so they are working with the protection within themselves, the shield, to not be affected by that rogue signal given out by Jezebel and Maxine and Marana and all the other ladies involved with this. But, asking me what to do on a medical level, my advice would be to go see a naturopath, a really good, trusted naturopath who works with nutrition, herbs, supplements, and other forms of healing. Someone who's connected perhaps to other healers, and that's the route that I would take. And I would say that holistic healing is going to be bigger than ever in the coming decade, to be honest. And it's the medicine and the healing of the future on this planet, especially within a 5D New Earth situation. And the healers are aware. They're aware of the situation, and they are aware that you are going to come to them. And they will have methods to assist. It's new. This is new, uncharted territory. And there will be those, I will guarantee you, there will be those who have had connections with Jezebel that are able to not necessarily remove Jezebel or remove Marana from their house, but they will be able to live with Jezebel and Marana and live happily and healthily. There will be others that don't do that. And all we can do is be there and assist in the best way that we can when someone comes to us for help, regardless of whether they have been seeing Jezebel or Marana or Maxine or any of these women. Okay. Someone said here, it's very, very hard when someone is your twin flame, when they have had dinner with Jezebel and you haven't. Yes, I can imagine that is incredibly difficult. And I have discussed this in the previous video I did. And what I would say is do that meditation that's in the book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria, and read chapter 9, because the information for you is in there, and you need to continue to do this regularly. Did you see the magical orb in your video, Magenta? It came right out of the side of your head by your eye at 41:33. I did see it. Someone told me about this, and I did see it. And I think that's the first time an orb has been around me in a video. That was the black flame, black shield. And yeah, that was really lovely. So, wow. Orbs, love orbs. Okay, what else do we have here? If I were dating, I would ask the question as my very first question before having any other conversation with that person. Have you had dinner with Jezebel? And if they have, that would be a deal breaker for me. And that includes friendships. You know, I think many people are going to feel this way. I feel this way also. Um, and I think to myself, well, you know, who do you make an exception for? Do you make an exception for a friend, or do you think, well, no, that friendship has to go by the wayside and I will see different friends? Do you make an exception for your parents or your sister, your brother, or any of your children? I'm lucky in the sense that there's only one, possibly two, possibly three members of my family that will be or have seen Jezebel. And at the moment, it's not Marana, but there's a possibility that one of my family members will see Marana. Do you make an exception for your family member? Personally, if it's my child, yes. I'm not going to stop seeing my child, even if my child has been out to dinner with Marana and is regularly seeing Marana. That's when deep shielding work will come in, and I will be doing everything in the Black Box program and the Rose Gold Flame as Antidote. I will be loading myself up with the black crystals and doing deep, intense black flame work. Would I see someone else who is regularly having dinner with Marana that wasn't my child? No, I will make an exception for my child. I think every mother will do that, really. And obviously, if it's your partner, I mean, it would, as I said in my last video, it would be a deal breaker, as you say in America, for a relationship for me. And luckily, I'm not in that position. And Cat's Magic, when he watched that video, he said, I hope you told everyone that I'm not going to have dinner with Jezebel and no intention of having dinner with Jezebel. I don't want people thinking that I'm not saying Jezebel just because you don't want me to. Yeah, making it quite clear. Cat's Magic has no intention of having dinner with Jezebel. But I asked him, I said, if I did, not that I will in a million years, but if I went out for dinner with Jezebel, would that be a deal breaker? What do we call it here in a that would be we used to call that at school a dumping offense. I know that means something else in America, but when you dump someone, it means you're ending the relationship. I just call it stepping over the boundaries. But I said to Cat's Magic, what would you do if I went out to dinner with Jezebel? Would that be a deal breaker for you? And he said, no, it wouldn't be. But he would want long conversations with me as to why I would go and do that. But of course, it won't happen in our reality because we're on the same page completely. And I'm very lucky that the majority of my family are on the same page as well, which is great. And I'm very pleased about that. But obviously, we do have the odd one that potentially will be seeing Marana and Jezebel, or one or the other. Okay, where else are we in these questions? Let's have a look here. Okay, so I understand that you can pick up the rogue signal no matter the physical distance or intimacy, from what I understand. Yeah, so, okay, that's true. That is true. But when you're working with the collective, you are merging with the collective. And you do this, if you are not awake and aware, you do this in an unconscious way. And that's when you are at risk, if you will, of merging with the rogue signal, because you are utterly unconscious of your energy fields. When you are conscious of your energy fields, you create what is called a hermetic seal. That is what the black flame is. It's a hermetic seal. The rose gold flame is a hermetic seal. being awake and connected spiritually is in and of itself a hermetic seal as well, because you are sealing the matrix within the awareness of your own event horizon. If you've read my book, Infinite Helix and the Emerald Flame, all about Stargate Ascension, the 9 talk about the event horizon, which is the boundary of your infinity. And if you are working with the matrix system, and the first 3 books, Masters of the Matrix, Divine Architecture and the Starseed Template, and then Infinite Helix and the Emerald Flame, all 3 books will teach you how to work with your energy system and the matrix. If you are working with that model, so you've got the vertical pillar, the horizontal rainbow bridge pathway, and these diagonal axes that are coming in, and then you have the event horizon. In fact, you don't need to read the books. You can go back, look through the videos that I've done over the last 13 years, anything talking about the vertical pillar of light, the rainbow bridge pathway, the matrix, the white wheel. Go back and see those videos. That is a hermetic seal. It seals you within your own matrix field. It gives you mastery over your fields. So what you are doing is you are using your radiation consciously, and you choose not to merge your signal with the collective. What you do is you choose to merge your signal, because we must merge. We are a collective. You merge the signal with aware and awake, star-seeded, activated, ascending, and ascended humanity. You still have the social presentation of other selves. Those are the ones that are aware. You make the choice, you make the knowing. It's all about sovereignty. I know I'm talking about my books a lot lately. I swear to you, I'm not trying to market my books all of a sudden. It's just that they were all written, obviously, with the guidance of the 9, and with each one, I didn't really know where the books were going. I didn't even know Masters of the Matrix was going to be a book. Now, looking back, I realized that the 9 have been teaching me all of this stuff for the last 13 years, in all the videos I've done and all the books that I've been bringing forward. They were teaching me this stuff for now and for the future. Obviously, it was for then as well, because there's no time, there's no linear time within this work. But all the books are relevant for now. So, in answer to your question, you can pick up the rogue signal no matter the physical distance or any intimacy. This is absolutely correct. As said in the novel with Gloria in the village, one person, one end of the village, and another person, the other end of the village, could merge their signal. But when you stand in sovereignty and knowing, and you say, this is my field, these are the axes within my field, and Divine Architecture and the Starseed Template will teach you to build that. So Masters of the Matrix is about matrix awareness. You can't do anything with your matrix until you're aware of it. Matrix awareness. Then matrix mastery over it. And that one book will teach you everything you need to know. It's a standalone teaching. The next level to that is matrix architecture. You build the matrix. As you build the matrix, as you construct the matrix, you become more aware of it and more intertwined with it. Anyone who's done that work already has the hermetic seal. The black flame is simply an add-on to this. This work, this energy work, this matrix work is everything you need for this right now. And then Infinite Helix and the Emerald Flame is about matrix transportation. It's the next level. It's about taking the matrix and moving it. It's about etheric space exploration and Merkaba activation. And the one I'm writing right now, which I've been working on for a couple of years, is Alchemical Unification. And that will come out in divine timing when it's supposed to. I trust that the timing is ordained and beyond my own influence really, other than I'm the one that sits and does the work. But the timing of it, I trust will be the right time. So if you have those books already, now let me just say there are other spiritual teachings out there and other templates. You don't have to do my work from the 9. You may be following a different spiritual teacher. You may have your own energy work that you created yourself. All of that is a hermetic seal. And it's, you are aware of your matrix. Everyone in an ascending state, all starseeds have this in one form or another. Some may not even realize what they're doing is building their matrix fields. So what I'm saying here is, in answer to this question, you can still pick up the rogue signal. You can, but you decide not to. You're constantly cleansing those fields. And something like shungite, let's say, I keep showing this little shungite period, blasts that energy out of your fields so powerfully, does the work for you. And when you're with crystals and you've got the books that you're reading, or you're meditating around your crystals, or your consciousness is moving into an awareness and a thought process, and you're around your crystals, the crystals pick up your frequency and they then reverberate the signal back to you. It's like saying, dear crystals, can you please assist me with this matrix work? And they say, yes, of course we can. You're programming them, and they hold that programming. They are little technology. It's crystal technology. This is what the Atlanteans did. So yes, you can pick up the rogue signal, but you choose not to, because when you are in your hermetic seal, within that awareness of the event horizon as your own personal infinity structure, there's no rogue signal there. So that's your energetic field, and that's all there is. From that space, there is no other person, just you and your fields. But you must also be grounded in the knowing that there are 7.5 billion people in the world. You don't want to go into a sort of ungrounded thinking, let's say. When you go out and about, you are coming into physical contact with the signal. So it's not a case of my next door neighbor may have just gone out for dinner with Jezebel, and the person who's crossing the street right now has just had dinner with Marana, and this person sees Maxine. You are still encased physically in your own home. So it's not like a broadband signal in that sense. It is, but it's much more etheric than a signal we would pick up that's like an EMF, if you will. It's not the same. It's etheric, and it's in the antimatter realm rather than in the realm of matter. So when you're in your house, or you're out in the forest, or you're surrounded by people that have never met Maxine, then yes, you're inside that overall consciousness, but you're still encased within that infinite expression in the matter reality of your sovereignty and your hermetic seal within that infinite structure, that matrix that you design and you choose. When you go out and about, you are moving your physical body from one space to another. So we need to work on the non-physical, antimatter, etheric, and the physical. You find the awareness of both of these in order to work with this shield. So when you go out and about and you meet someone who's giving off the signal in a physical sense through their physical body, then one works with physical protection. So one would need all the work in the black box program and the rose gold flame as antidote, work with the sigils, work with the rose gold flame, understand the crystal river, the Schumann resonance, get your green smoothies in, upgrade your nutrition, see your homeopath or your naturopath, discuss supplements and herbs and green powders, and get your yoga in and whatever you need to do. So there's physical work and energetic work. So the answer to your question is yes, you can pick up the rogue signal, but if you choose not to, you won't. physical distance and for intimacy is working with the physical body. So that needs more work because your physical body is close to that person. So it's both. It's not really a case of, oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I see this person and hug them and kiss them, or if they're 1,000 miles away. Makes no difference. Yes, it does make a difference because your physical body and your energetic body are in two different dimensions. So we have to work with both of them. So I am sorry I didn't make that clear before. I hope that's clarified that one. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? Okay, this is a big question that I've been asked a lot of. If you're giving someone Reiki, massage, acupuncture, or any other kind of hands-on healing, and that person has had dinner with Maxine or Jezebel or Mirana. So if that person's not had dinner with Mirana but has with Jezebel, then you are looking at a detoxification route. Go your detoxification route and assist that person as well. Just if you're continually aware of detoxification pathways, as I said, your green smoothies, your higher vibrational, nutritional path, your movement that's allowing flow, all the things that you do. And if you're a massage therapist or you're a Reiki master or an acupuncturist or any other hands-on healer, you are going to understand about your detoxification pathway. So there's not really any problem there other than you could get drained more easily. You will need to up the stakes of your protection, which you will have had in place naturally as a healer anyway. You need to really ramp up your protection, your self-care. You may need to do less work. You may need to only take a certain amount of individuals that have seen Maxine. So you would need to ask your clients whether they've been out for dinner with Jezebel. Now, if you see a client that's been out for dinner with Mirana, then that is more like an intimacy. Yes, it's not full physical intimacy like in a relationship, but you are spiritually intimate and energetically intimate with that person because you're working with that energetic field. Do I suggest you don't work on them? That has to be your choice. But as a healer, you will be contracted to heal people who need you, and these people need you. They need you. Now, some of them may not know that having dinner with Mirana has made them need more help from you. They may feel that having dinner with Mirana has helped them, and they may not be aware of this. So you're going to be in a position where you have to work on someone who's got quite a lot of unconscious stuff going on there, because they are moving in a direction that they believe to be an evolutionary path when it is not. That is huge right now. There are people that are, let's use the metaphor, walking through a stargate that they believe is taking them to paradise, but that is really a wormhole taking them down into the Armageddon network. So we're looking at, and that's not really metaphor, it's energetically accurate. I would say bringing in the black flame here, bringing in your black crystals, have your shungite, your obsidian, and your tourmaline. And the other one was labradite. Even though that's a dark grey, it's still classed as doing the black flame work. Get all this in place. But yes, your question is, you are merging with that person. So if it's not Mirana, then you are looking at ramping up the detoxification. If it is Mirana, then you need to make a choice whether you continue to work or not, whether you only work on one Mirana person a month, or whether you just carry on and find that sovereignty. And if you are a healer, you will have ways of working energetically, especially if you are working with Reiki. I'll add a question to that. Do you need to change your Reiki work potentially, yes. Now, will Reiki itself or energetic healing in that sense be upgraded? Yes, there will be healers bringing in new geometric symbols you can work with. I would suggest that anyone right now who's working is a Reiki master, that you would be at the stage where you can create your own Reiki symbols that will come in specifically to assist those who are having dinner with Marana. So trust your intuition and your judgment. I can't really tell you which way to go with that work because that is your personal template. If it were me, I would bring in angelic Reiki, unicorn Reiki, and I would bring in some black flame sigils or black flame geometries to work alongside those Reiki symbols. But trust your judgment here. And if you need assistance, go back to the person who taught you the Reiki, or talk to other Reiki masters. And, there's an opening for you. Go write a book, channel this, bring it forward, bring forward the information. How do Reiki healers work with those who are regularly seeing Marana and Jezebel? There is a niche for this material now. So, go write it. Okay, somebody wrote here, does this mean that Marana in men won't affect women? I'm not sure why you would think that. This is a misunderstanding of the material. Mirana in men will be giving out the rogue signal, so you would need to do the black flame work, and you would need to do the meditation. If you're in a relationship with that man, you would need to do the meditation that's in the Lessons from a Living Lemuria book. In fact, I think what I'm going to do actually is get that meditation up online on YouTube. I'll get Daniel to create a video for that. I think it's needed now to be out for free to everyone. If you don't have to buy the book or buy the meditation to do it, you do at the moment. But I will get that meditation up. It's actually called the Golden Chalice. I'm not going to say that it's difficult because it's specific for women. And do I upload that and say this is a meditation specific for women, which is one of the reasons why I haven't uploaded it before, because men won't get out of that meditation what they would, what a woman will. It's specifically designed for females. So I guess I'm just going to have to put that on there. And I'm not being sexist. It is a meditation for women because women are receptacles and women hold energy. But I will get that up. I will get that meditation up online. Or the other alternative, actually, I could have the meditation up on my website for free for you to just download. So I'll have a word with Cat's Magic about what he suggests there. He deals with the logistics of the editing and the uploads. But yes, that's what you need to do. You need to do that meditation. And if you're in a relationship with a man who has seen Marana and is regularly seeing Marana, then you would need to do this meditation all the time. And you will find as you do it, you'll clear things, and then that energy will come back. So it's regular clearing, which is why I keep going on about shungite, because shungite regularly clears you. All of the black crystals are amazing. They all work in different ways. If you want to wear shungite as a female in a relationship with a male who has seen Marana, I would keep your shungite pendant or necklace on you, especially when you are intimate with your partner. Yeah, absolutely, because it's clearing you all the time. But you can't just rely on the crystal. You're working in synergy with the crystal as a partnership. So you and the crystal will work together. All right, we'll do one more question. Let's have a look. What can we find? Where are we? Lots of these are just comments. Please, would you speak about the spiritual energetic of smoking cigarettes? I've successfully transitioned my diet. I rarely drink alcohol. I would consider myself an empath and spiritually aware, but I do continue to smoke. Okay. All right, this is a really good question. It is answered in the book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria. But let's just look at that. So the first thing I would say to anyone who's trying to quit smoking or quit anything is don't quit, upgrade to start with the intention of quitting. But if you see quitting as this huge, like, oh, I've got to quit, it becomes, you instantly get sent into resistance. Sorry, not resistance. You instantly get sent into resistance to that thought of quitting. And the aspect within you that is relying on the smoking, which is the addiction, that is a living consciousness within you. Addiction is a living consciousness within you. It will come up and say, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no. And it will show itself. So you don't want to trigger the consciousness of addiction within you to fire up and start acting up. It's like an ego thing. It's the ego aspect, but specific to addiction. So upgrade. So when it comes to smoking, the way to upgrade, number one, would be to move away from chemical cigarettes into pure tobacco. So you would try to find cigarettes that are made with no nicotine, all of these additives, all of these chemical additives that are put into the cigarettes. Find a pure cigarette that doesn't have those chemicals in, and it's just tobacco. Rather than having a cigarette, you could then move up to just the tobacco that you make yourself, and make sure you are just smoking tobacco, and let yourself sit with that upgrade for a while. I mean, not everyone, some people can just quit, but for those who are in resistance to quitting, and that sort of addiction is jumping up inside you and trying to influence you, which it will do, the next upgrade from a more natural tobacco would be a herbal cigarette. I don't know if you can even get them anymore. I remember having them in the 80s. Everybody would try to quit smoking and they would go on to herbal cigarettes for 2 weeks and then go back to the normal cigarettes again because they were just so awful. However, I'm pretty sure you probably can get them, so go up there. And then the next upgrade from herbal cigarettes would be to wean off them. So say you're smoking 20 a day. Let's hope you're not, if you're spiritually aware, but if you are, this person here is on 7 a day. So, that's really not that bad, 7. But, let's say you're on 7, take it down to, once you've done your upgrade and you're on the pure tobacco or on the herbal cigarettes, take it down to 6 and do 6 for a week or 2, then 5, do 5 for a week or 2, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then just 1. Once you're on 1 a day, you're doing really, really well. And stick with that for a while, because leaving it completely is potentially going to trigger that addiction. But if you do it in this slow way, you're not triggering that addiction aspect. Now, the other thing to do, and that's the physical, and then once you actually are on 1 a day and then you leave completely, then find a substitute, such as not an unhealthy one. Go for green smoothies, make some chia puddings, try raw cacao, try making your own raw cacao brownies, go get a cookbook from Deliciously Ella and try some of her recipes, do some kind of new exercise, whatever it may take. I do realize that right now it is a difficult time for people to quit, because we have so many, or humans are given so many more challenges than usual, as we are not in we're not in a situation that we have been in previous years. We're in something new right now in 2021, so it is difficult for people to quit. However, if you're asking me if this will affect your ascension, well, yes, of course it will. Can you ascend if you are smoking cigarettes? Can you? I'm pretty sure that the 9 answer this question in Lessons from a Living Lemuria. And I'm pretty sure the answer is if you are smoking cigarettes with chemicals in, that's really going to block ascension. If you are working spiritually in all other areas, and you do have a high vibrational diet and you're on this natural tobacco, I think you can go through ascension there. But ideally, one would quit. Ideally, one would quit. But it's about taking this slowly and being your own best friend and nurturing yourself through this journey. I would definitely read Lessons from a Living Lemuria, because smoking and alcohol and rugs, they're all addressed in the book, and medications are all addressed in the book, which is why it's quite relevant to the whole sort of Jezebel Marana story. So yes, what you would also do is work spiritually. So you would communicate with the aspect of the consciousness within you that is the addiction. So you go into this zone, you can do this in meditation if you want to, but you don't have to be in meditation, and call up the aspect of you that is an addiction and communicate with it. Now, if you feel you can't do this on your own, find a practitioner, a spiritual practitioner who's aware of this multidimensional work, someone who's aware of all the multidimensional aspects within you. Call up the addiction and allow it to come up however it presents, and communicate with it and say, look, I really want to let go of this substance. I know that you don't. Can we work together? Can we come to a compromise? Tell the addiction that you love it. You're not in a battle with it. You're not working against it. You want to work with it. This is an integration of the ego work. This is shadow work, and it's integration of ego work. So that is where you would go. So find any teachings, any books you can on that kind of work, and that's what you would need to assist you spiritually. Hypnosis is another good one. It works in a slightly different way, and hypnosis is good for somebody who perhaps isn't necessarily energetically aware. Hypnosis will work because that person is taken into a suggestible state. But with hypnosis, with traditional hypnosis, they sort of give their trust to the hypnotherapist to work with the energy system for them. So it's very good method of healing for those who are not necessarily energetically aware. Of course, it can work for those who are energetically aware as well. But if you are energetically aware, then you can work in a more sort of waking state. The thing is, it's the same thing as hypnosis, because it's the same brainwave state. Channeling, hypnosis, this energetic work, it's all the same thing, using the same parts of the brain. It's all higher consciousness work, working with the consciousness that is beyond the logical, left-brained, everyday waking state, the linear consciousness. It's moving away from that and working with that expanded consciousness. So that's where you would need to go spiritually, and you would do this in conjunction with the weaning off from the cigarettes. So let's see if there's anything else. Please explain, tea tree. What does Jezebel mean? So I've got a video. You will find that over on Rumble. I think it's also on BitChute and brand new Tube, talking about the code. Yeah, so people who don't understand the code, they don't know what Jezebel is, they don't understand the book, the chapter. Let me just have a look and see if it's on my BitChute. Let's have a look here. Yes, so it's called Transmission Codes as Spiritual Discipline and Dream Divination. I'm pretty sure that's not on YouTube, and I uploaded this one to the alternative platforms. So yes, you'll find that on BitChute. That should be on Rumble and brand new Tube as well. Transmission Codes as Spiritual Discipline and Dream Divination. So if you don't understand the book, the story, the character, you don't understand Jezebel, you don't understand Marana, go watch that video, which will give you a direction in which to go to discover the story. Okay, so yes, I think we'll leave this video there because this has probably been a long one. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for listening. Do continue to write on the different social media platforms, especially on Telegram, because I am going to be going through the questions and comments on there and commenting on them and making videos. So yeah, do continue to write. And obviously, if you want to follow my updates, then everything goes on Telegram, but I'm also updating everything on MeWe. I have a big following on MeWe at the moment. We've got a group on there as well. And I'm also on Instagram. And if you prefer more alternative sites to those, I'm also on Gab and I'm also on Minds, and I post everything on those as well. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.
What is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karma-free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lemuria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lemuria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on the Earth, Lemuria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the reader as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and Stargate ascension. This transmission is dear to my heart, and I'm so very pleased to announce my new book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria.